Hello, and welcome back to WesteroScraft Walks with your host, Chris the Archer. Today we have traveled south from the wall, and I think with the skin that I'm wearing, you could guess where we ended up. So let's go outside and take a look at the castle of Stonedance, the seat of House Massey. Right now we have woken up on a ship from King's Landing, as you can see from the Lannister Baratheon banners, and let's see if we can make our way ashore. I'm going to just jump in the water and make my way over to that tower over there. So House Massey are the lords of Stonedance on Massey's Hook. Their sigil is a triple spiral, red, green, and blue on white. The castle was built during the reign of the Durandans when they ruled the Stormlands by Lord Maldon Massey. Eventually they rebelled against their liege and established themselves as kings. During the Andal invasion, a warlord named Targaryen Bar-Aemon took Stonedance as he carved out his own kingdom, but the land was later reclaimed by the Durandans. Though they were sworn to the Storm Kings, the Masseys had stronger ties to Dragonstone and thus supported Aegon Targaryen in his conquest. Their lands would then become part of the Crown Lands, which are under direct Targaryen rule. So here is one of the two lights that mark the entrance to the port, guarded by this tower over here. I like the use of the walls because it adds depth to the build so it isn't flat. Let's take a look inside. It's a modest tower, so there's nothing much here, just some supplies on the first. There's a single bed, it looks like. I think the people who would have guarded the tower came from Stonedance itself. So this tower overlooks the bay, and as you can see, we have a nice view of the narrow sea. Let's go back down and make our way over to the village, and I'll talk about the Masseys during the reign of the Targaryens. The first Master of Laws was Lord Tristan Massey, who had supported Aegon over Arglek Durandon during the conquest. Years later, Lord Lucifer Massey was one of the men who fought for Maegor I in a trial of 7 against the faith. Lord Albin Massey remained loyal to Maegor during the last days of his reign and fled back to Stonedance after his death. He was later appointed Master of Laws by King Jaehaerys I. During the Dance of the Dragons, Lord Gorman Massey unsuccessfully attempted to claim Vermithor. Another Massey, Alinda, served as a lady-in-waiting for Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen and was a witness to her death. King Aegon III appointed Sir Robin Massey as Lord Commander of his Kingsguard after the Winter Fever in 133 AC. However, he was dismissed by one of his regents, Lord Unwin Peake, stating that he did not have the approval of the Council of Regents. Sir Robin died after a quarrel with Unwin Peake's personal guard. Lord Unwin was also known to spread rumors to defame Eleanor Massey and ruin any chance of her becoming Aegon's new queen. So this looks to be a mill. They would take the wheat from those fields over there and they would crush it under this stone, which would be pulled by donkeys, and the grain would then be turned into flour. Here's a spare stone. Let's take a look at this garden full of pumpkins and squash. There are some ruins over here. Maybe this was some part of the village that was burned down, but and as you can see, they turned it into a garden. Over here, it seems a hedge knight has made their camp in these ruins, that you can tell by the helmet. Let's go down here. Here's a nice place to chop wood. Let's take a look in one of these houses. I like this one. It's a one-story shack. It's pretty roomy inside and also pretty simple. There's a table. Here is where the farmers would sleep. I think this is where a farmer lives. Over here we have an area for livestock to graze, maybe some pigs or sheep. I think I read somewhere that pigs are actually low maintenance and easier to care for. So that barn is where they would sleep, and they would just they would be able to roam outside in this pen. Now let's go into this town over here. through this gate where we have a place for someone to collect a fee for whoever enters the town. And if we go up here, we can get on top of the gate, which is a defensible area for keeping any invading armies out of the town. Up here is the bell tower. Again, we have the use of the walls to add depth so the build doesn't look flat. Let's go back down. Let's go in this house. It looks to be the house of a fisherman. You can see by the fishnet and the crab cage. I think this loft over here is... Yes, this is where the fisherman and his family would have slept. Let's close that. Here you can see there is this place to prepare food. Now over here, that's an inn. You can tell by the sign, but we'll go there later. Here we have some stalls and a carpenter shop here. And it looks like the carpenter is building a chair and a table. Over here is their workshop. Okay, there we go. It's a small living area and a simple bed. Maybe he has some requests for some furniture he wants to make. Over here is the bakery, you can tell by that sign. And here is where the baker would bake bread using the flour from that mill earlier. And here's a cake. I think this baker also specializes in making cakes. Let's go upstairs. I imagine he's a well-off baker, so he has a large, or at least large for a peasant, living space. Back here, he has his own wheat field, so that field is reserved for making flour for bread. Here we have some gardens growing some vegetables for the peasants, so they have food. In here, we have another fisherman, or maybe just like another village house. And up here, this is... Well, maybe it's the farmer, because like there's some turnips, barley, and a shrine of the mother. So maybe this is the farmer that tends to the crops over there. So it's getting dark. Let's just take a look at a few more buildings. This one over here seems to be a warehouse, as you can tell with all the shelves and storage. They would have wheeled it in from the port, which is right outside, and they would have used a crane or something to get it into some of the higher, into this loft over here. So you can see there's not that many supplies, and just a small cabinet over here, maybe for the harbor master. Let's go back down. Yeah, these doors are, they're set to close automatically, so, they do that on their own. There are no ghosts here. Over here, I think it might be another fisherman. Well, except this one makes nets, as you can see by that. Like, it looks like they're weaving a net over there. It's almost sundown. Let's take a look at this building. This is a candle maker, which I believe is called a chandler in, or that was what the profession was called. Here's their kitchen. This is where they make candles, and up here is where, let's see if I can, okay, there we go. That's where the candle maker would sleep. And on that note, I think it is time for us to go to sleep as well. So let's make our way over to the inn. Do we have time to... No, I don't think we have time to explore another house today. Let's just take a look at this inn. It's a small inn. We have a couple benches for the patrons to sit, drink, and eat. Over here is where they would fill their cups. If you go back here, here's a kitchen where they would prepare some food with a back door that leads back to some more farms back there. This room is the storage room, and there's some stairs that leads up. That's a child's bed, and this bed would have been for the innkeep and his wife. It's a very quaint living space, but let's go upstairs where the guests would sleep. These are just modest rooms. There's nothing much in them, just a bed, a table. This one has a chest. This room is for the privy. And this one has a large bed, and I think I'll just sleep in this bed. And I'll see you all tomorrow, and we'll explore the castle. Good morning, everyone. It's a new day, so let's make our way up to the castle. So, the Masseys at this point in time it looks like they have split loyalties. Currently in the main series, we don't know who the Lord of Stonedance is. But there are two Masseys that we know of. At the Wall, there is one Wallace Massey, who is a steward and squire to the commander of the Shadow Tower, Sir Dennis Mallister. And then we have Sir Justin Massey, who is an advisor to Stannis Baratheon and fought for him during the Battle of the Blackwater. So, as you can see on that post, there are some of the new banners that were released in the recent update. Many of the principal bannermen now have their own custom banner, which is better than the generic ones that were used before. Here are some gallows and a tree over there used for the same purpose. Let's go back down here and up to the main castle. This is a very good defensible location. As you can see, like there's only one causeway to the castle, and the defenders can easily, it creates a bottleneck for that can be easily defended. Over here we have a barbican, which is an additional defense before the gatehouse. Any enemies trapped inside would be shot at by archers on top. Over here we have a blacksmith who is making a chain for whatever reason, I do not know. And this building here is his living space. It's a modest one. Here's the bed, and as you can see, thatched roofs, a small basket of turnips, and a small table. It's a really simple shack. He also has like an open area for him to do laundry. This building over here is the entrance to the storage down below. This postern gate over here leads to a boat dock. We can't get down there since it is locked, so we'll go around. This is a small garden, we'll pass right through, but you can see down there is a boat dock down there, so maybe if Massey's returning by sea, they would dock their boat there. So here's another postern gate, which is right next to an armory tower. Let me get my torch. So here we have swords, shields, helmets. Over there's a Massey banner, so let's go up. Over here we have more racks for swords. There's nothing over there. Another Massey banner. So let's go up. It looks to be just more storage, maybe arrows, since out here would be the perfect place to shoot down arrows on any attackers trying to get to the beach. Let's go back down and make our way around the other side. Yeah, I'm trying to follow the advice that some of you have given, and I'm trying to just slow down and take in all the scenery. I'm still trying to adjust my mouse to improve these settings. So over here is where the guards would live. So here is a small area with a table. Probably some of them would eat. If we go in here, it's more weapon storage and I think spears or lances. If we go down, we have a small kitchen with a leg of ham just hanging there, waiting to be cooked. That takes us back out here. Let's go one floor up. Here we have some beds. So maybe this is where some of them would sleep in rotation. this door leads us to the training yard, and let's go down. Here they would practice swordplay, and here's a training dummy with a Bar Emin banner on it. They do not like the Bar Emins, it would seem. So over here we have a walkway that leads to the Barbican, or at least the walls of the Barbican. So this is where defenders would stand and shoot arrows down on any army that attacks the main gate. Let's go back, and this leads to the walls over there, but here is the top of the guard tower. We can't go up there, but there's a Massey flag flying above us. Let's go back down. I want to go down to the ground floor. Yes. Over here we have the stables. Not a lot of horses can be stored here. And this, I believe, is the feast hall. Here there's a keg for ale, mead, and here is where the Lord of Stonedance would sit. Up there we have the Massey and House Baratheon of King's Landing banners. If we... Actually, let's go down here first. Here is the kitchens for that hall. It's a small one. But up here is... I believe it's a guest room, because like it has a canopy bed, so it must be for like any highborns who are visiting Stonedance. Here they have a desk, a partition for some privacy. So let's go back down. Here's a well. I'll talk about that well later. It leads to, they draw wealth up from a cistern below. Here's where some more guards sleep. So let's go up. And this room is a, I think, one of the commanders of the garrison. This would be their bed chambers. Let's go up one more floor to the top of this tower. There's really not much to see, just a few helmets and some arrows, or a barrel with arrows. Let's go on out here and make our way around. So yeah, there's the walkway up to the castle. We're not going to go into the keep yet, so let's just keep exploring the outer defenses. So here we have another bed chamber for maybe another, maybe the Master of Arms. And here's another tower. Again, nothing important up here. Let's go down to the ground floor, where we have just another table. Over here we have a larger area. Maybe this is where the steward would sleep. I'm not sure. So let's go make our way around this building, and we get into another training yard. This one has dummies for archery practice, and there's a weirwood over there. Let's go up one of these towers. So this one doesn't have a wall behind, because I don't think that it's necessary, since no one would be attacking from behind unless the castle was breached. But I think they would have used the stone for other things. Here is a close look at that weirwood, and another one of those towers with an open end. It's pretty much the same as the last one, so we won't go through it. There's the entrance, and if we go along this wall, it takes us past the armory tower again. And here we have this cover, which leads to the castle sept. It's a small sept. You can see there are just maybe like small paintings of the seven. There are some candles, and here's the bell up here to call the Masseys and castle occupants to for prayer. Over here we have some flowers growing and another covered walkway, but this is where the Septon would most likely sleep. It's a very modest shack, and I think we will sleep here for the night. Tomorrow we'll explore the keep and make our way over to another castle. Good night. Good morning, everyone. We are going to be exploring the keep today. So let's go. The sun's rising to the east. We've already explored the outer bailey, so now let's go into this keep. It's a modest keep. So here is the great hall, which I believe it's also the audience chamber. We got a few unlit candles. So if we go down here, that leads to a dead end, but here are the kitchens, where they would prepare the food for the Masseys if there aren't any feasts going on. Here we have a place where they cut meat and fish. This oven here is a bread oven. You can see by the freshly baked bread in the oven. And if we go here, it takes us down to that gate we saw earlier. Over there takes us down to storage, but here is where the dungeons are located. If we go down past this checkpoint with the with iron bars, and we go down here, we'll go into this room where they would get information out of prisoners. What they did in here, I do not know, but here are a few large cells for some of the prisoners. I don't imagine they would have any high-born prisoners, since the Masseys don't have vassals on their lands that I know of, since they're vassals of the kings in King's Landing. So down here we have some firewood. We have to have a lot of firewood to keep this castle warm. And let's go past this gate. Shelf for storage, and here is the storage and the crypts. But let's go see what's in this tunnel here. It looks like it's locked, but you can see that there is another light that marks the entrance to the harbor of Stonedance. So if we go in here, we have some old banners. We have the old Targaryen banners. You can see how ripped it is, and there's a Baratheon banner as well, one from the reign of King Robert. Here are some cheese, some open sacks of flour. Over here, it's just more barrels, and I believe this is these large ones are where they stored ale. But if they don't want to drink ale, here is the cistern I was talking about, and that bucket is connected to that well that is in the yard by the feast hall. So let's go back out and explore the next room. Here is the storage for flour. It's kept on this platform, I think, to keep it dry. Over here, it looks like we have salt or ice. This is snow. And over here, well, this is snow, but this is here because this is where they would keep, they would store meats, and that stone table is where they would prepare them. So let's go back, and let's go down here, down into the crypts. Here we have the Masseys I mentioned. There's Lady Linda Massey, Lord Lucifer Massey, Lord Gorman Massey, who's in that pot, or his ashes are in that pot, Sir Robin Massey, Lord Alban Massey, there's another Massey banner, Lord Tristan Massey, and Lady Eleanor Massey. Let's make our way back up to the main keep. There's really not much to the keep. So we already saw the kitchens, the great hall. So if we go one more floor up, we should, that takes us back to the great hall. we should, if we go one more floor up, we should see the living space of the Massey. So it's nothing big. In fact, it's just one big room. Here is here's the privy, and this area is like a living space. There's another partition, and here's a giant bed, maybe for the Lord, with a heart next to it. And here's another bed, maybe for Lady Massey. And on the other side of this, we have an unoccupied bed, maybe once belonging to Sir Justin Massey before he joined Stannis. Let's go one more floor up. Here is a raven cage. I think they wouldn't have a lot of ravens at Stonedance. And there's another Massey flag with red, green, and blue. And we're at the top of the keep. You can see it down below, the narrow sea and the ship that we arrived on. So this room here is for the maester. You can see the shelf with books and potions. There's a table. And the next room next to it is for the servants who serve the Massey household. They don't have a lot of servants since it's a small keep, but that is the entire castle of Stonedance. Let's see if I can get a good view of the village and some of the Massey lands. You can explore the rest of the Massey lands if you do /warp Stonedance. Let me know in the comments what castles you would like to see. Thank you for watching. I am Chris the Archer, and I will see you in the next video.